What's up, everybody? What's up? Welcome to the Mr. Straight Fact Show. Today has been a day. Now, after we talked yesterday about dictatorship, this show is about focusing on why is it that Donald Trump and his minions keep telling us everything about dictatorship without saying the word. They're defiling the rule of law. Every judge is crooked that doesn't believe in what they believe. They can never have a just judge unless they win from that judge. They lose from the same judge. Oh, they're always crooked. And it's not just Trump. It's this entire war room. He has a war room of people who believe what he believes. So when they go out on every news media and say the same crap, they're putting into the minds of people, we got your back, when they're really trying to destroy people. They want the world to be there for them and nobody else. It makes me wonder, how can Americans see this right in your face and do nothing? I mean, nothing. Democrats are just sitting there frozen like a deer in headlights. No strategy, no plan that we know of. It's insane to me that nobody's calling out what it is. I saw Raskin say something. I think it's Jamie Raskin. Say something about they want a dictatorship. He said that today. But why isn't it an alarm to say that they want to be a dictatorship? It should be a fledged fire. You guys should be on every station saying this and actually proving it. Not just saying it and people think he's just saying it. Again, the way they do it, even the Democrats, when they mention it's a dictatorship, they say it in passing. Like, it's a dictatorship. Next story. Wait a minute. Democracy is going to a dictatorship, and all you do is say they have a dictatorship mentality. And then there's no end then. Let the people know what a dictatorship is. It's just an adjective at this moment. These people have no idea what dictatorship means, what kind of freedom they will lose. Tell the Republicans the truth. They'll take your guns away. Show them the fear that dictatorship actually warrants. Democrats have never tried to take Republicans or anybody's guns away, ever. But what do Republicans do? To win, they go out and lie to everybody about, we're going to take the gun, they're going to take your guns, they're going to take your guns, when in fact it is them that wants to take your guns away. Because taking away your civil liberties, taking away your First Amendment and the Constitution, they have been toying with this for years now. Trump will put it out there. Let's get rid of the Constitution. Oh, I was just saying that in passing. Judges are terrible. I follow the law. And then he comes back to judges are terrible. Then he comes back to, look how bad it is. You need somebody, a savior. Some of these whack jobs think that he's like the second coming. The man never touches a Bible. Doesn't know a verse. Doesn't even know how to say it. Like the chapter and verse. He doesn't even know how to say the actual Bible, chapter and verse. Go look at him. Corinthians 2. Not 2 Corinthians. He has no fucking clue, y'all. But these people are so enamored with him for some reason. And people with sense are like, how? The dude makes no sense. To them, he does. If, again, I've gotten comments, I've gotten people, and I don't care about these whack jobs, but their defense of what I'm saying about dictatorship is like, Donald Trump's not going to do that. Donald Trump's not going to do that. And I say, well, please explain to me how let's say a democracy turns into a dictatorship. If it was on our doorstep, if it was already here, how would you recognize it? Mum's the word. they can never answer it because, again, go research it and it will shock the crap out of you. It will shock the crap out of you once you research it and be like, oh, holy shit. That's why they don't want to get that holy shit moment, because they're too comfortable in the fuckery. They're too comfortable in this area of, I don't know what's going on and I feel comfortable because he's not coming after me. He's not mentioning my name. He's not mentioning my race. Let me just sit over here and let everybody else get the arrows. But you let that live, the arrows will come after you. Just like people who voted for Donald Trump and lost their job. There's so many people online right now sharing their pain. Some of them telling you who they voted for, some of them not. And you want to have sympathy for them. And many of my mutuals are really going in on them and saying, oh, I found out you're Republican. I don't care. And I get it. But like I told you guys, I am 10 toes down for my people. I am pissed off that the 80% or 78 to 84, whatever it is, black men, that we voted for the right person. 92% of the black women voted for the right person and for the right reason, to protect America and our civil liberties. And then there was a vast swath that did not. I'm pissed off at that. But I also know that if they lose, we lose. And when they lose, their lives are going to be better at that loss than ours. They'll be poor. We'll be enslaved. You don't think a dictatorship is going to end up putting a poorer class in some form of enslavement? You don't believe it? Look at those pictures of those Latin men, Venezuelan men that were free just a few days ago. And look where the hell they at now. Enslaved. These people are bent over, looking at the ground. Ain't nothing wrong with their backs. They're treating them like that to disrespect them, to force them to be subservient, to scare them. Think about it. This is why it's what kills me, is that we never put ourselves in people's positions. We just be like, that ain't me, keep on moving. Replace those Latin men with black men. You think that ain't gonna happen? Replace those Latin men with poor white people. Do you think that ain't gonna happen? Keep fooling yourself. Replace those men with Jewish people. You think that is not going to happen? The only person really safe from this type of tyrannical government type of shit are rich white men. Those are the only ones that are safe. All the rest of us are not. So I get it. I'm pissed off at the idiots for voting for him and the ones who say they aren't Trumpers but decided, oh, the egg prices will go down. Now, here's the problem I have with those folks. Now that you've seen that this man is not the man you thought he was, not the one who's going to protect you, the one who's going to take your wife who looks white but happens to be Latin and kick her ass out the country, and you got to fight for it even though you voted for him. Now that you see that happening, why the hell aren't you the most vocal? Why aren't you out here saying, look, I voted for him. I was wrong. Let's come together and get this together. No, you're crying and asking him to help you. Instead of saying, I fucked up. It's time to fix it. Let's move on. And I'm going to lead the fight. Y'all don't have to get in front. I'm going to be in front of this. Because the only way it's going to change is with me fighting and you guys got my back. I don't see that. I don't see it. If you see it, please send it to me somehow, some way, because I want to see that fight. But I'm telling my mutuals that, look, I'm pissed off too. But I got to use that energy to fight it off, not to just make fun of the idiots. Because in the midst of them being made fun of us and us having these moments of like having issues with them, which I still have, I know I can't win this unless we got those idiots on our side. Not their politics, but the fact that they're down and out right now and that none of their white cohorts are even giving two shits about them going through what they're going through. They're isolated. They're the ones that need to be fighting. And I have no problem being behind that fight as long as you lead it. At the same time, I'm leading a strategy to be able to defeat it. It's all hands on deck. It ain't none of this sit on the ground and wait and see it and wait it out. I mean, no disrespect to people. I understand my brothers and sisters are pissed, but it's getting a little old with y'all going out and, eating popcorn while people are going through shit. Making fun of it and all that. That's good, but it's getting old. It's getting old. And the reason why I say it's getting old is not about being popular or trendy. I'm saying is this shit's going to a dictatorship. They're losing shit. But ask yourself truly, when the shit hits the fan, who's going to hurt the most? We will. We will. Those poor white people will get something. We're going down. It's not like we're going to rise above them. You don't think that shit's going to happen? It's not. Under a dictatorship, they'll decide who wins and who loses. Listen to what they're saying, people. You're going to hurt for a little bit, but then you're going to come out on top. They're telling white people, we're about to hurt y'all just a little bit, but just watch who we really fuck up. Look at these Latin people. See? I'm showing you. We fucking up the people of color. They're first because we led with the immigrant thing. We're going to gather up trans people like this. We're going to gather up these DEI people like this. We're going to gather up all the people we don't like this so that you know that we got your best interest. We're going to take it so that they can't live worth a damn, and then we're going to give it to y'all. Give y'all the opportunities. You just got to hold off a little bit. Just a little bit. Do you really think these white people will be like okay with this shit? They be burning down houses. Remember, these same MAGA people, when you told them to wear a mask, they flipped the fuck out. Now you're getting rid of their jobs and shit. You think they really, man, it would be purging outside if they didn't have some inside information that we don't have. These people will be out there unaliving every person they can find that's associated with Trump if they lost their shit. It hasn't happened. If you don't believe me that Donald Trump and his MAGA minions have a different level. See, they're playing at this game where they're fucking with us and we're seeing all this shit. Underneath is an entire other game going and we have no shit about it. You got to pay attention to their actions and reactions. Steve Bannon is out here saying Donald Trump 2028 to Chris Cuomo. And Chris Cuomo, again, playing this both sidesisms like, come on, you got to be serious. Tell us exactly how would you do that? How would you achieve that? Dipshit, how else would you achieve that? It has to be a dictatorship or a takeover of government. There is no way for you to have another presidency unless you go through the House and Senate and extend the laws that says that only two-term president, you'd have to change it. And then you'd have to get the majority to say yes. Ain't no Democrat going to say yes to that. So why are they confident it's going to happen? Because they're tearing down everything that needs the Republicans or Democrats to vote on. It will be the king that would make that decision. Have you not noticed? Steve Miller, same thing, saying we don't need, the courts telling us what to do when our king should make decisions. You have no right to usurp his power. Listen to how they talk about this man. They talk about him like he's already a king. That his word is law. The law isn't the law. His word is law. Steve Bannon was like, we only get a person to come like this once in a lifetime. Like what? The man's a complete fucking idiot. It ain't that. We got a man that controls the population like we want them to be controlled. He's got a hold on their brains like we want them to have. I can squeeze millions out of this man and out of the people that love this man by literally saying the shit that he says. I've made a shit ton of money off of him. Not me. This is Steve Bannon. I've made a shit ton of money off of him just agreeing with him. We've never had something like this where it's instant money when you can just mention bullshit this man says and sell a shirt with his name on it. And these idiots come running with their pockets open and selling their fucking homes to get it. We don't have that type of power. It's a once in a lifetime situation. They know exactly what they're doing. I'm telling people to listen what they say. Go back and look at history and understand how it's repeating. This is actually how Hitler took over Germany. 100%. People get mad at me. I don't give a fuck about you getting mad at me. I am Mr. Straight Facts. Fuck your feelings. It is the truth. Go look it up. It ain't about making you feel good. That's what they want you to do. Feel good so they can fuck you. But when you feel what the truth is like, then you start to motivate yourself that this shit's got to change. I got to do something. I can't just sit around and just let this shit happen. And that's what everybody's doing because they're thinking, it's just Trump. He's full of hot air and he makes shit up. I'm like, since when? You guys keep saying that shit, but every time he does something, this shit comes to fruition. How does it end up being that this man invades every law? He makes fun of people, and then the next thing you know, people are attacking people because of him, and this man has never cared about anybody. What do they benefit from a man that never gives them anything that we see physically? He gives them an opportunity to take their country back the way they want it. White power. That's what he gives them. 100%. Don't believe me? Why are they only attacking everybody else but white men? They've attacked white women. What did they say? This was Charlie Kirk. Your body, my decision, my choice. Attacked white women, all women in that situation. They've attacked black women, attacked black people through DEI, CRT. Russ Vought literally said way before Project 2025 and president even came up, when he talked about Project 2025 in an undercover interview, he said that the Department of Education should be closed because he considers it just a department of CRT. What are they trying to do? What do they say today they're going to do? Close down the Department of Education. You know what that happens to you? And send it back to the states. Pay attention. Whenever somebody says, pay it back to the state. Was it Nick Fuentes? Thank you. Pay it back to the states. Or not even pay it back. Give them the power back, the states. When's the last time you heard that in history? That's what the Civil War was about if you listen to the daughters or the United Daughters of the Confederation. The BS they taught you in school. It's all about, states' rights. No, it's not. States' rights was all about slavery. The power of having slavery. That's the economic base in which they got free money with black lives. And now you're telling me I got to pay the black lives? That's less money. They went to war over that instead of paying the enslaved people. That's what that was about. So when they bring up states' rights, what do you think they're going to do? They get rid of the Department of Education. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to fund the white schools, right? Like they did before, the segregation. They're going to fund the white schools, and the black schools are going to have to fend for themselves. Just like the black farmers are fending for themselves for the past, I don't know how long. But see, this is all about, there's going to be a disruption. White people, just hold off. Who do you think's in power? White people. We're going to take care of y'all. But let us fuck these people up in front of you and show you the power that we have. I ain't making this shit up. These are things that they're doing. Just pay attention. Have they went around and gathered up white people who are immigrants? I haven't seen them go after white people who are immigrants yet. Have you? They're talking about bringing more of them in. South African white people, oh, you can come. If this isn't about race, then why the fuck is it all about the people of color getting treated horribly And white people being asked, come. And if you're rich, come some more. Because this is going to be the country where we take care of rich people, not people who are fleeing places where people are trying to harm them. Fuck them. Leave them there. You can kill them off. We don't care. Don't be bringing them to us. This is a new country now. It ain't about bringing me you're tired and all that and yearning free shit. No, bring me you're rich. Bring me you're powerful. And we're going to have a great time here owning America. Oh, yeah, the peasants that work here, they'll be the employee status, something. Care about them. They're the ones who are going to buy our shit. And we're going to treat them like shit, and they're going to like it. Sounds familiar? You should look at history and you'll find out everything I'm saying is not hyperbole. It's happened before. When you learn it, if you don't know it already, you'll see where we're at on that spectrum. When any other country has done this, we are at that phase of that country doing it. When Hitler did it to Germany, we are at that phase. We're not at the phase of unaliving people, but shit, doing what they did to the Venezuelans. They demonized them when they really weren't demonized. I mean, what did they do? Oh, they did this in Aurora, Colorado. Lies. Made up. Fear-mongering. What's next? I'm waiting for them to get to the dogs and cats and start like pushing them out the same way they're pushing these Latin people out, these Venezuelans. Because, see, they already demonized them about eating dogs and cats, and they never turned on that. So eventually, these white people who want something to happen to these Haitians and other people, it's their turn. It's going to come up. If we keep this shit going, it's going to come up. And then Asian people, yeah, they're going to come after your ass too. It's a matter of time. It ain't about if it's going to happen. It's all about when it's going to happen. When, not if. Pay attention. When have you ever heard people who work for Donald Trump, I mean, just employees, I mean, these people aren't very powerful, but they are talking down to governors and lawyers and shit like, dude, your job is just to fucking report shit and work in your office and report what your office is doing. Your job isn't to come out and tell people to not listen to law and order, the party of law and order. See, this is where I get to my point where I took a step back and looked at everything the Republicans have done since, Tea Party and all stuff like that for years and years, decades upon decades. They have been tired of the democracy because it's hard for them to win because they don't give a fuck about nobody. They care about the rich and that's it. There's no laws that you can think of off the top of your head until you go back to like 1865 or something like that the Republicans have done something for the average people. Their shit is always tax the average people and let us hoard our money. Tax them, don't tax us. Their wealth has grown astronomically in the last 40 years. Ours, we're going down. We're just 2 to 4 paychecks away from living on the street. They got enough money if they didn't have to work for the next 100 years and still be rich. And yet they want more. Yeah, it's that time to eat the rich. Because the rich have been eating us. Our taxes, charging us and gouging us, charging prices they don't need to charge. If they cared about you, they could actually lower the prices right now and eat it just a little bit until the economy got better. Wouldn't hurt them at all. Do they care? Fuck no. So why do you? What is inside of you that gives a shit about them when they don't give a shit about you? It's almost like we're a bunch of high school students trying to get into the in crowd and do whatever you can to get in that in crowd. The in crowd got everybody's attention. The in crowd gets all the girls and all the guys. That in crowd is not the smartest, but they're the most popular and everybody gives them attention. And I wanted to, and that's what it seems like. The average American wants to be rich, so you look up to them even though they shit on you. And you're constantly degrading yourselves to try and be them, and they're constantly kicking you and calling you all kinds of names. Entitlement programs. It wasn't entitlement when most of them were receiving it at the very beginning, or all of them were receiving it. Black people and people of color couldn't receive it. It wasn't entitlement then. It was taking care of their people. Once black people and people of color got a chance to be on unemployment and Medicare and all these other things, when we got a chance to be on it, then it became entitlement because, hey, we're giving it to everybody. When we give it to white people, it's what we're supposed to do. We give it to everybody else. It's entitlement. Don't want that. Don't want it. Can't do it no more. Even if we got to kill a few of our own people. Let them starve to death. But, you should have did better. You had all the opportunity. We're going after them. You're just a byproduct. You should have stepped up your game, but we're going to get 4 million of them. We'll hit about 500,000 of y'all. It is what it is. That's how it works. That's how it's going to always work until Americans literally say, you know what? We want the American dream, but we don't want to fuck everybody else's life up to get it. When we get there, we can defeat something like this and stop it from happening. But we're not there. Not even close. It's amazing to me how we end up here. And every day you see, I just said it yesterday, and then today what comes up, Steve Miller talks about judges usurping the rule of law. I told you Hitler did the exact same thing. When you can't believe in the judges, who are you going to believe in? No, everybody knows our system's not perfect. Hell, black people know it 100%. But if you don't have that, then who's going to make the decision? Donald Trump's people are sexist, misogynist. They're all the isms, all the obics, the phobics. They're all of them. So when they get into power, how do you think women are going to fare when they go to jail? How do you think black people are going to fare when they go to jail with their judges in place? The sycophant. Trump just calls them up and be like, yeah, get rid of that black dude. But they don't have no evidence. Don't worry. I got you. Get rid of him. And matter of fact, I'm going to come down. And yeah, we're going to have a whole 45 gun salute. I want y'all to kill him right in front of me. I'll be there. Yeah, I'm going to have pizza and I'll bring me some McDonald's. You think that shit ain't going to happen? The fuck if it isn't. They're telling you they don't care about the law. And when he decides what the law is, he can order it up like he's ordering fucking McDonald's on how the hell he wants to do shit. Democracy saves us from that. It's not perfect, but it's way better than a dictatorship. Dictatorship. You guys get caught for misdemeanors. You serve a little time, maybe not even that. You might get a ticket or whatever it may be, or you might get home house arrest. Under a dictatorship, they'll cut off your fucking arm. Won't steal nothing else, will you? That type of shit is what they're trying to do. You need to wake the fuck up. If this is scaring you, it should. You shouldn't be on a relaxed tip about dictatorship. It's not like a good thing in it. I heard some of these people, these MAGA minion people running for election and at his rally saying, maybe we need to be in a dictatorship. They're stupid. They have no idea what a dictatorship means. They look at Putin and they like him for some reason. Been our enemy forever. The only thing Putin's got going for him that these people may like is that he's white, powerful, and white people rule. They fantasize about countries that are all white. If you don't understand that's what they're looking for, a dictatorship is the game plan, then what do you think it is? You think they're just doing it for the fuck of it? I'm trying to understand, America. What do you think they're doing? You think they're just having fun with it? Fucking with people just have fun? Or is this all about money and power? When have you ever seen, except for in Germany and other countries that have been in dictatorship, where the person becomes president and all the rich people They just got time out of their day to come in one area where the governors or where officials are supposed to be, and they all just sitting there. I'm gonna show y'all some video, about, and I've talked about this and I have videos about it, but I'm gonna do it on my live. Everybody in place in Project 2025, Donald Trump, during his presidency, and I'm talking to you MAGA people right now, this man lied to y'all and said that Project 2025 was not something he even knew about. I don't even know what, he didn't even call it his right name so that you guys could think that he didn't know what the fuck it was. When in reality, he was told at the end of his presidency, before he left the White House, Russ Vought came to him and said, this is what we plan on doing for you next, President Donald Trump. And he signed off on it. Not only did he sign off on it, he gave them money. He went to their meetings. All those videos or pictures you saw with Donald Trump with the head of the Heritage Foundation, while he was saying, I don't know nothing about the Heritage Foundation. He's caught on a jet going to talk to them. He was on his way to actually praise them and give them money to continue doing his game plan, setting it up for him to succeed the way he wanted to succeed. They organized this. Not only did they organize it, right? They gave you Project 2025 for the public to see. I've told you guys that that was just the skeleton. All the meat and bones behind it was hidden. So much hidden, they did it on purpose. They said it in a documentary, which everybody should have. It was actually like an undercover interview, about 9 minutes long or something like that. They said it, and the world should have been on that and still on it to this day, because everything they said in this meeting has come to fruition as of today. This should be playing every day into people's minds, every day, over and over and over and over again. Because why? Because you need to know that this was orchestrated. This is not some willy-nilly shit he made up. No, they've been planning this for years on how to take over the government and what their game plan is. Exactly. Being local, the threat hidden in plain sight. Now we're going to go to, see if I can get this right. I'll go ahead and play it for you so you can see exactly what I'm talking about.
Journalists from the Center for Climate Reporting have come posing as potential donors, looking to meet those involved in Project 2025. They're not hard to find. The Heritage Foundation, the group running the project, are here. So is Vought's think tank. We make the acquaintance of Mika Meadowcroft, an author on Project 2025 and a close aide to Vought. He tells us that Vought is running the secretive second phase of Project 2025.
The second phase after the book came out was to break down like actual sort of policy packets and executive orders and agenda items and things like that. That's been supervised largely.
The first phase of Project 2025 was a 922-page policy book published openly. The second phase is a comprehensive, concrete transition plan for each federal agency. These much more detailed plans are confidential.
Yeah, because obviously you wanted a little of it to be FOIA-able, if you're familiar with the FOIA process, as possible.
Freedom of Information Act, yeah.
The Freedom of Information Act allows the public to request government communications, but Meadowcroft reveals they plan to avoid these rules.
Yeah, the goal is, you familiarize all the transition team people with these plans, but you don't actually send them to their work emails, because then,
right.
You could just give the handbooks to everyone. Be like, this is the game plan for the admin.
Yeah.
But if the press knows that that's what you're doing, that they're going to immediately just say, I request all of your emails from Heritage.
Okay.
You
right.
worker.
I see.
So we'll see.
Interesting.
Meadowcroft offers to set up a meeting with his boss, Russ Vought.
You could put me in touch with somebody who looks after his diary or whatever.
Yes, I can put you in touch with his schedule. Yeah.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
Great.
So just tell me when to do that.
We want to meet the man writing the game plan for Trump's second administration. Vogt believes that in his first term, Trump's agenda was frustrated by what he calls the deep state. So Vogt is planning a radical centralization of government power under the president, firing civil servants and ending the independence of agencies like the FBI and DOJ.
80% of my time is working on the plans of what's necessary to take control of these bureaucracies. And we are working doggedly on that, whether it's destroying their agency's notion of independence. They're independent from the president.
See, that's exactly what they want. It's exactly what they want. To destroy America. This shit was planned. There was a second book, much bigger, on how to do exactly what they're doing. And think about this for a second. I want you guys to think about this because I think this news and also mainstream media are missing it. Let me explain. This video is of two reporters, undercover reporters, at least one I know for sure, but two undercover reporters going to a Project 2025 function in which they had all these conventions about it, letting a certain group of white people know about them, right? You didn't hear about it. I didn't hear about it. I didn't know they had these things going. They had conventions about this, explaining what they were going to do. And while there, and maybe they've attended more than one, these people recognized this shit ain't right. So let's do an investigative interview with this guy. They've seen us come a few times, right? And therefore we got some credibility. We don't paid to come see this shit. We don't signed up to the email letters. So now, we have to pretend that we're rich. Because not just everybody got into that level of explanation. You had to have money because they wanted money from you. They wanted donations, hundreds of thousands, if not millions. So these guys posed as rich people. So that's how they got the access. You notice that they're white men of a certain economic status, right? They had to pull off that they were rich. So Russ Vogt, this man comes in and sits down in their hotel room and explains to them in detail how they were going to fuck America over. Why? If they were rich, really, white men would listen to a man talking about destroying the democracy in which how they've made their money. This capitalist world, they made their money as billionaires, millionaires that he thinks they are. How am I going to benefit if you're going to destroy the country in which I made my money? Unless they let them know that you're not the ones we're going after. You're the ones that we're going to support. You give us money, we'll make life better for you, and we'll fuck everybody else up. They didn't have these meetings with average folk. They had them with rich people. The average folk, they looked to be employees to spread their word. Read my manual and go do your damn thing. So these men happen to be reporters, undercover, millionaires and billionaires. Now ask yourself the question. These men, they were looking for money from and telling them all about Project 2025 before it came. These are unknown millionaires and billionaires. They had no clue that they weren't rich. What do you think they did to the people that they knew were rich? You think Elon Musk wasn't in the exact same meeting when they explained to him how they were going to take everybody's life and fuck it and make his better? Think about it. Everything this man just explained in this video is what? Just this segment of the video. Everything he said about changing democracy and firing people and getting rid of them, it is a game plan that's already been written. You get my point. If it's already been written, why do you need Elon Musk? All he's going to do is follow the game plan. It's already written. Elon Musk ain't doing shit. Elon Musk was being used as the face because he's been told from day one how this shit is going to go down. It's already been written out. We've already agreed on it. We already went to Elon Musk and asked him for money, and he already gave it to us. So we gave him a position in this, even though he ain't doing shit. Think about it. This man has said, I'm the head of Doge. I'm not the head of Doge. I'm the head of Doge. I'm not the head of Doge. Why are he saying that? You think? Because it's doing things that he may not want to agree with, and it want to take some of the heat off of him. But in actuality, he signed on. He gave them money. This is not Elon Musk's structure. This is Russ Vogt's structure with Elon Musk leading it. That's why when you hear Elon Musk come out, all he comes out with is bullet points. And more than half the time that he gives these bullet points, he's wrong. Why are you wrong? Because you aren't there. You're getting bullet points on what is what. And these people are making you look like a fool. Elon Musk ain't making all these mistakes. They are. But because Elon Musk bought in on this, right? Elon Musk is the head of it. They tried to give it out to some woman for a hot second. Then he gave it back to Donald Trump gave it back to him. It's all about setting you guys up like, oh, I don't know what's going on, but it's something. I don't know for sure, but they're taking care of it. How disorganized. You don't even know who the leader of something is. The reality is Russ Vogt's the leader. In this interview you just saw, he's the one who said everything about destroying. It's my mission to destroy these bureaucracies. If he's already got a game plan, which at the very beginning of this interview that you just saw, he literally said he had his personal assistant, one of his assistants said, what are we trying to do? We have a game plan behind the scenes that you don't know about. That document, that book that was written, that's only giving you guys a summary of what we're doing. The other actual plan is hidden. Nobody gets to see it except for the people that we're making them do these jobs. In other words, they're not doing their job. They're doing a game plan. So they're going into our government and becoming the deep state. You see, before they was talking about the deep state. The deep state's supposed to be this government organization, basically, that's running the government, independent, not independent, but of one group saying we're not going to make something happen. But in actuality, our government before had different controls in it, meaning like this department, the DOJ, could not be controlled by the president. The FBI could not be controlled by the president. They were their own entity. You couldn't have the president tell this entity or this entity what to do because we had a rule of law and the way our government was structured. They're trying to structure it so that we do have a State Department, a country, or a government where you have a deep state, which means the president says it and all these entities do it, irregardless or regardless of the law. That's a deep state. They're actually putting in a deep state while we're telling you guys there was already one there when there wasn't. If there were, then why would Donald Trump even need to do this? All he got to do is tell everybody what's going on and they'll just do it because there's already a deep state there. We had a government focused on the law. We didn't always agree with the way people interpreted the law. But we all agreed that we loved a democracy over a dictatorship or any other kind of communism, whatever. People didn't like socialism. We all agreed to some degree. We liked having a democracy, right? And now what? And now what? These people are running the country, ruining it so they can become the saviors of it. The same shit that Hitler did. We didn't have all this issues and shit before Trump came in. None of these things were a problem to us. You know who they're a problem to? Racist white people. They're the ones having these problems with the Venezuelans, with the immigrants. Never mind the fact that these same people have farms in Nebraska and Indiana and all those other places where they hire these people, California even, where they hire these people so that they can make their money off of them. And so now they're starting to lose their farms and all these different things like that. What do they think is going to happen with that? Well, their racism is so strong. Many of them are pissed. Most of them are zip-lipped. Why? Because they have went to these functions that they've been showing people. And they know, yeah, we're going to have some short-term pain. That short-term may be a year. But then after that, you guys are going to get subsidized for this much. And we ain't giving black people shit. We ain't giving Latin people shit. We ain't giving, just hold off. and we're going to save y'all with money. And then when we give you that money, now y'all can lift your life back up. Oh, black people are going to be fucked. All the other people are going to be fucked. We're going to get rich people from other countries who are white. Remember, Donald Trump said that a long time ago. Why? In 2017, it's like that. Why are we getting people from these shithole African countries? Why don't we get them from like Switzerland or, white countries he mentioned? And guess what? He comes up with a plan to bring white people from South Africa and other places, then creates a plan where he can get rich people to give money to come over here and buy up land and be an American citizen, bypassing what these poor people have been waiting for so long to become citizens, following the law legally, waiting to become one, and he's just going to skip them over. I thought it was a problem. Follow the law is what they said. They said, go through the process of becoming a citizen and don't break the law. And the people even who are following the process, this man is saying, for the rich, fuck the process. Just give me like $5 million and it shall be done. From King Trump. We can't sit here and look at this shit like, oh, it's just Trump speaking. No. That's not it, Democrats. Democrat leadership. He's setting off alarms and you guys are sitting there just inhaling the smoke. Waiting for the fire to just destroy it all. And we're sitting here screaming at the top of our lungs, fire, fire. And you guys are sitting around talking about we're going through the courts. That's good you're going through the courts to do the legal shit. But what about the other things he's doing? Why don't you have a team of people that is shadowing this entire department? If they can have Elon Musk in there, who hasn't been vetted whatsoever, why the hell can't you have people who are vetted saying, you know what? I don't want you following me around and reading my shit. My assistants and my aides go over there and see those departments and literally watch over their shoulders, see what they're doing, because I don't trust them. Why aren't they actually like having private investigators follow them, record them in events and meetings and shit? Why not? They're breaking the rules and laws. I say investigate the investigators, because you're not going to know what they're doing. When you saw this interview right here, they literally mentioned FOIA. On purpose, ladies and gentlemen. If you're a Democrat, Republican, you're just American. The FOIA is the Freedom of Information Act. It was in their plans, Project 2025, years before they became president, in their plans to go behind the scenes, deep state. Here's the government going on right here. That's the regular state. The deep state is this government underneath that nobody knows what's going on. Here's regular business as usual. They got some shit under regular business as usual. Deep state, and talking about I want to get rid of the deep state by implementing a deep state. This deep state is underneath, not telling the American people, and you don't have access to it via the Freedom of Information Act. So they don't want you even seeing what they're doing underneath regular government shit. If that ain't sneaky enough for you to be like, wait a minute, why would you create a deep state talking about you want to get rid of a deep state? This information, if they are doing stuff that we can't see, you know it's illegal. You know it's wrong. And Democrats, what are you doing about it? I haven't heard you say anything about freedom of information to find out what the hell they're doing inside the White House, inside of Doge. None of that. You ain't heard none of it. They could be doing it, but say it. Now, if you're doing undercover shit, of course, keep your mouth shut. You can't tell us, but just say it's being handled. But the idea of all these other things going on, you really need to be telling the American people, you got something. You're doing something. You're getting information while you're in courts. That's why, when you look at what they're doing, they're implementing a deep state and telling you that there was one before when there wasn't. They were telling these people this because life wasn't going well for them. The numbers of white women having babies was dwindling down. They couldn't handle that. There's going to be less of us, so we're going to become the minority. We can't have that. Then you got to demonize all the people of color so you can get them out the country so that your numbers actually swell up. If you can't have enough babies, get rid of the babies that outnumber you. But we got to demonize them first. We can't just go pick them up and say, you know what, you Latin and you Asian and you're Jewish and you're black and you're a white woman that can't have babies. Oh, y'all get out. They can't say that. So what do they say? Something's wrong with you. Demonize you and get the rest of the country wanting to get rid of you, not knowing the real reason why they want to get rid of you. Haitians eating cats and dogs. You think they ain't gonna go after black people whom they think need to be back in these shithole African countries and not here? Because what? Your numbers over the years are gonna rise over ours. So we got to get rid of all the ones. Think about it. Why are they taking 14-year-old kids? That's when they can start having babies. Of course, they could have them earlier, but realistically, 14 years old. Let's get them out of here. They can't repopulate in our country. Therefore, our country automatically becomes more whiter. If you don't see the game plan, then you ain't paying attention. They're picking on all the criminals in their mind, anybody of color, and sending them away. Not giving them due process. And it's easier for you Americans to accept it when you think they're immigrants and that they're criminals. But not one of these people has been convicted of any crime. Not one of them have been convicted of being in any gang. I can see a Venezuelan person with a gang tattoo or a tattoo from prison. That doesn't mean that he or she is in a gang. It could have been one when they was 14, out of it now. Or they just like the tat and got it. That's why you have to go through due process. And if you can do it to immigrants who are human beings, you can do it to people they demonize who are Americans. Don't get it twisted. You see them doing it to them without even having an inkling of feeling like, oh, we may have got the wrong person. They don't care. They didn't get the wrong person because the real reason was to get rid of them, Venezuelans. It wasn't about getting rid of criminals. It was getting rid of a population that's growing faster than they are. And black people, you're going to be on the chopping block too. What do you mean? They're going to take us back to Africa? I don't know what they're going to do. But you best believe they're going to do something. If they can't send us back to Africa, what's the worst thing you can think of they can do? Say that we're criminal and start to execute us like they did the Jews. Yeah. I'm telling y'all, stop fucking around and fight. They're not playing games. They've been on this tip for decades, for centuries. These are the same white people that are their ancestors. You know how people say, I'm not my ancestors? These white people are 100% their ancestors, the colonizers and all of that. You don't believe me? Why are they trying to take over Canada and make it the 51st state? Why are they trying to take over Greenland? Why are they trying to take over Panama? They're trying to colonize again, make their country bigger, and bring in more white people. If you don't see it, you're blind. If you don't see it, you're blind. Yeah, I sound like an alarmist. No, I pay attention to people's actions. Tell me what those actions mean. You're not paying attention to the laws. You're attacking people of color. You're taking people's civil rights away. Due process. He said that he wanted to get rid of portions of the Constitution just to play and see how many people would get pissed. Most of you guys didn't get pissed. So he said, if I could take a piece of it away, I could take it all away. They didn't get up in arms about me taking a little bit of it away. Some of them did, but they don't care. Democrats. Going after his opponents like Hitler, like Putin. Talking about you want to put them in jail and even unalive them Trump didn't say this. That's what Hitler did. In jail, then it escalated to unaliving them. Trump is already and has been talking about messing the lives up of his opponents. Remember when he ran for president in 2020, he wanted Zelensky to find dirt on Biden just so he can get rid of him. Had Trump had the power he wanted, you don't think he would have unalived Biden, Joseph Biden? Of course he would have. If he can go to the lengths of trying to destroy his son's life and then attach it to him and then try to go to a foreign government that's in a war and say, I'm not going to give you your weapons that you can save your people's lives. He waited. You know the amount of time that he waited, how many men, women, and children and babies died just so this man can get what he wanted? He didn't care about these lives dying day after day, hour after hour. He wanted him to find dirt that he can win against his opponent. That man ain't changed. That man's gotten older and more ornery. They put him in court, humiliated him, and what is he doing? Out here talking about in a tweet now, a truth. What Joe Biden pardoned doesn't matter. You can't take it away. Oh, it's auto pen. That doesn't matter. But his idiot people don't care about the law. What he says they believe can be true. And hence, it becomes true. And guess what else happens? Mainstream media toys with it so much that they make it seem like it's a possibility. Will he do this? The fuck you mean will he do this? It's against the law. That shouldn't be a fucking question. He can't do this. You put it out there like it's a possibility. Therefore, other people are like, maybe he can. No, he can't. So even when he's wrong, social media ends it with a question. Could he? They should be saying there's no way he can do this. He's not supposed to do this. And if he does this, he's breaking the law. At this time, we'll have a rogue president. You should be talking that way as opposed to he might be able to do it. Knowing Trump, he wins a lot. But fuck all that. You're giving him the benefit of the doubt to break the law. And other people will be like, that's why every time he breaks the laws and do shit, he continues to move the needle even a little bit further. Because we haven't got outraged enough to say this is the line in which you cannot cross. We keep moving that fucking line over and over again, moving it. Why? Because he keeps getting away with it. Because we allow it. There's not enough outrage to say no. Follow the fucking law or we all gonna start acting a fucking fool in this bitch. But we capitulate. The news media does. Pundits do. I don't. I'm telling you exactly how I see it. And if I'm wrong, guess what? Life's going to be better for us. But if I'm right? Well, if I'm wrong in a situation, life's going to be better no matter what. If I'm right and you do nothing, we just going to be fucked. I believe I'm right because I'm studying history and paying attention to everything this man does. And as he continues to do things that Hitler does, I will call him out as doing the same shit as Hitler. What kills me is why aren't Jews up in arms? If they know their own history, they should be freaking out right now. I'm telling everybody, this is anti-Semitic. This is crazy. This is exactly how Hitler did it. You say something that seems somewhat similar to anti-Semitism, and they on your ass. And they watch this white man not only do or talk Semitic, they seen Elon Musk give the fucking salute. And the fucking Republican leadership was everybody's kind of up in arms. I think he just made a mistake. And you can't say, if somebody says something about a Holocaust or denies that shit, they flipping out on you, going all over the place. This man just gave a salute to the man that unalived your people. The most treacherous thing that happened to your culture. This man used an actual thing to say that he supports Hitler. And you turned it into, he's just awkward. When the fuck was he that awkward before? He just got awkward on one day? We've been seeing him. It ain't like he just got into the public eye and it's his first time. He was just, I don't know what to do. No, He's been in the fucking public eye for fucking 30, 40 fucking years. You've never seen him give the salute before. Now he does, and you give an explanation like, Jewish people, this is on you too. If you ain't yelling that this is Hitleresque, it's your history. You be quiet, it's a part of your problem. You need to tell people, this is what happens to your ancestors. Make videos talking about this, educating people about the history of your people and how this happened. Because if you don't, it's going to happen again. And don't think because you guys are rich and they took some of your money that they're going to leave your ass out. They're not. They are not beyond taking money from people and fucking them over later. You're never safe with somebody who has no morals. A man that has loved somebody, and then when that person didn't say what they wanted to say, oh, I can't stand him. Horrible person. Low IQ. That's the person you want to trust? Then your demise is on you. Your demise is on you. I'm not going to have it on my soul. I'm fighting. I'm fighting. You saw that video, and I want people to see it. I want people to share it. You need to see it. Everybody needs to see it. You can look under on YouTube to see the like 9-minute clip. I think it's called Project Undercover Project 2025. You write that down, you'll see it. It should be the top one. You can see the whole 9 minutes. I suggest you watch it more than once because you're going to miss some of the things that he's saying, which our mainstream media missed. The fact that these two men were in that room, you have to know Jeff Bezos was pitched this. You have to know Mark Zuckerberg was pitched this. You have to know that the person that's that of course Elon Musk was pitched this. Tim Cook was pitched this. All of these millionaires and billionaires who say they're on our side, Democrat or Republican, who was sitting over in that corner, all of them were pitched this idea before we knew about it. They all knew that Project 2025 was a real thing. They all invested in Project 2025 millions of dollars, if not tens or hundreds of millions of dollars. They all did it. Elon Musk was the only sucker that wanted to put his name on it. Trust and believe. If they pitched it to these unknown rich white men and let them know what was coming down the pike, you think they ain't letting none of these billionaires know it? Of course they did. Of course they did. And they're not the only ones. You know they pitched it to the head of Home Depot and all these organizations that are getting rid of DEI. You know they pitched it to them. Because you got to get the rich class in on it. The only people who were left out of that whole thing were the regular folk. You just got in on the fluff part. Life's going to be better for you, but you're going to go through some pain first. But us rich people, we're going to take care of you. You close to us, we're going to take care of you. And they're suckered in believing that they will. They will not. It's not in them to give a fuck about anybody but them and their bottom line. As you can see how Elon fired people when he took over every company he took over. He fired people for no damn reason. Just trying to make money. And he already was making a shit ton. But more and more and more. That's why I'm happy that people are taking these Teslas back. I'm happy that his stock is tanking. I'm happy that people are selling their stock off. Because again, this man literally told all you to fuck off. And continues to do it every day. Doge is a shadow organization. It is a part of the deep state. It is literally an organized structure that has no particular leader other than Russ Vought. It can operate on its own. It just has worker bees. Looking at a structure that's already been built and every day coming in, doing every step he asked them to do in this document. You don't have access to it. I don't have access to it. They hid it so that the public can't get access to it. They didn't put it on any of the government computers because if you do, you got to give it to FOIA, Freedom of Information Act. But if you keep it where nobody has ever seen it outside, the public can't have it. And you investigative reporters, get on your game. Find this document. That is your job. Find this document. It is somewhere. And that's the task in which you guys need to be doing if you want to save democracy. Because that document is going to tell you the end game. And they had to give it to all of these people to understand what the hell they need to do on a day-to-day basis. It's just not on government documents. So you're going to have to do whatever you got to do. Trash can, searching. I don't give a damn what you got to do. Investigative research, whatever. Cameras on your body like these men did in this interview. It's your task to do your job. We're at war to save democracy. So get out there and do it. I said what I said. It's almost over here. I'm going to answer some questions. I know I get in it. I'm passionate about democracy. I love the fact, even though life can be hard for us, all people, and specifically in my situation, black people, but it'll be much harder under a dictatorship. I mean astronomically harder. So no matter whether you love or like people, we got to come up with a structure. And no disrespect to anybody whatsoever, but in history, the greatest fighters to defeat in this country this raggedy ass racist bullshit has been black people. I know we're tired of leading, but we've got to defeat this shit. We've got to. We have no other choice. We can sit back and be funny and games for right now, but when the shit hit our homes, then we're going to be the ones crying. I was on that train. I'm off it now. We got to fight. And Target are losing money as well. Yeah, Vera, most definitely. What's up? What's Save With say? I thought Home Depot was supporting DEI. I just signed up for an account last week. We need to come up to with the DIM Smart. No. I'm just saying that Home Depot, I don't know exactly what Home Depot's stand is on DEI. I just know at one point it was, I don't know if it was the owner was a Republican, but I know that I think it was Lowe's that was really good helping people. I may get it switched. I think it was Lowe's that were really good helping people, and the Home Depot, I think they supported Trump in the first one, the first 2016. I don't know what they're doing right now. So I was kind of like relying on 2016 information, to be honest. I don't know what they're doing, so don't take my word on that. I was just bringing up a company name that had once supported Donald Trump as an example. So sorry about that. Always got to fight never-ending BS in this country. Exactly, A. So actually, most government emails that are labeled as controlled and unclassified are exempt from FOIA. I'm sure it is, but in this interview, that guy was talking about that Russ Vought. He was Russ Vought's right-hand assistant or some shit. They said in the interview, you can go back and watch it, and that's what they was talking about. They was hiding it from FOIA. He said putting it on the email servers and all that. He may have been wrong about that, but that's what he said. I don't know government law, and I'm pretty sure you may be in the military, so you know better than me. But hopefully he's wrong, and they can still get this information via FOIA. I'm not sure. I was right. It just Googled it. Okay, Save With. Thank you, just saying. I just know they supported him in 2016. So I didn't know if they had changed, but they haven't. All right, I was right. Thank you. Being local on Stand Assignment, how you doing? Thank you to all my subscribers and members. I love y'all. I appreciate it, because what we do, it needs to grow. We need to get more and more people active to do things. Like I told you guys before, I'm putting out these quick questions to kind of get people to understand. The one that I put out yesterday, is like, what does a democracy mean to you? I'll be putting out another one tomorrow or either early this morning. But as we continue to get into the out into the world, questions that people need to be asking themselves about what they love about democracy. Because if you don't have it, these things that you love go away. So I really wanted people to start answering those and being a part of it and pushing it out so that people can start asking these and answering these questions. And I mean, some of them may be a little dry and may not be like, oh, it's so great and, whatever, but still push it because of the situation where we never know who we're going to reach. And some of these questions are going to be awesome and may go viral. Other ones are going to be kind of dry. Doesn't matter. Keep pushing it. Answer the question, ask the question, talk about the questions. Money talks. Do your research where you spend your dollars. Keep it in the community. I hear you, Azur. What does it say? Oh, Nitty Yahoo thought Trumpet's ideas about the Gaza Strip was a good idea. Yeah, they would. They're dictators, man. I mean, I don't understand why the people aren't going crazy. I mean, it's some of these questions on this mainstream media stuff just be like throwing me off. I'd be like, oh, well, why would he want to take over Greenland? I can understand, this or that, but Greenland, I'm like, why are you justifying any of this silly shit? All of it's messed up. We should not be thinking about conquering other people's countries and things of that nature. Canada doesn't want to be the 51st state. In order for us to do that, what we got to do? Go to war like Putin is with what the hell? Dude, I'm telling you. We keep entertaining the idiocy. And if we keep entertaining it, it becomes a part of normality. We can't allow this shit to be normal. We've all got to be like, what the fuck? This is weird. Not like, did something else today. They want all of this shit to become normal. So when they do it, it's like, you didn't have a problem with it last week. Now you got a problem with it today? No, I always got a problem with it. Study that too. If you really want to know like how people manipulate people, look that up. Go on to Chat GPT and say, ask a question like, what is the most effective way to manipulate people to do things that they normally wouldn't do? And I'm almost certain, because I haven't done it yet, I'm gonna do it today. I'm almost certain it's gonna say to give them something to feel something about so that the facts don't matter to them. It's the feeling that matters. That's where you get cognitive dissonance. But I may be wrong. Look it up. If you have that question, look it up. And I'll look it up too, just so I can understand it. But it's something where we need to break in people. And even in ourselves, no matter what, even if Democrat, Republican, doesn't matter. If somebody says something, please check it. Don't just believe it. Check it. And if that person doesn't want to change based off the real facts, they got a plot to fuck with you. They want you to believe in a lie. But if you get it wrong and you're like, oh, my bad, then that person doesn't have an agenda other than to give you the facts. And if they get it wrong, maybe they had a bad source. We all get them. But the reality is when we find out we're wrong, we should say it. It's quite simple. Like I said, I was wrong about Chuck Schumer after I went off on him. The day after. Only because I was triggered to do some research. I was like, why would this happen? Why would Trump want this to happen and that to happen? It doesn't make sense. And I looked it up. Then I looked at it and compared it to people in history. And Hitler popped up. I was like, holy shit. I started doing more deeper information. Then I realized what Chuck Schumer did. He saved us. I know people are mad at him. I was mad at him. You can go look at my video. I leave it up because I want you to see how I changed as opposed to what I was just fucking 24 hours before. Based off the fact of I had done my homework about what he was doing and how I was passionate about, but I was in my feelings about like, I don't see them fighting. And they still aren't to some degree. But I know the facts now. And just short enough, letting you know, like, in order to turn a dictatorship or a democracy into a dictatorship, you have to create some kind of structure of a mass like problem that Trump has to come in and be the hero and save the day. That's what Hitler did. He waited to the Reichstag fire. And then when everything was going in disarray, he was the person with the calming voice of, I can save it. First, we got to get rid of everybody's liberties, and then we have to go after the people who caused it. So what would have happened if the Democrats won out and said no, all of them, and then Donald Trump would have what? he would have let the government close down, shut down. So what happens when the government shuts down? They're going to sit here and write things that they know the Democrats are not going to vote on. They're going to make it even worse. They're going to go back to the Democrats. Democrats, no, we can't vote on this either. Okay, we tried twice. At that point, they're going to let it shut down. Then life is going to be hell. People who deliver your mail aren't paid. You're not getting your mail, which means you're not going to get your medication, which means some people are going to get sick. Some people are going to die. Then all of a sudden, you're not going to get your Social Security. You're not going to get all this stuff. It's going to become a self-made disaster by the Republicans. And they got to sweep in and call the Democrats the people who caused the problem, the bad people. And here the Republicans come to save the day. But you know how we got to do it? We got to call martial law, get rid of everybody's civil liberties. We got to jail these Republicans who allowed all those people to die. All those people not to get their checks. It's all the Republicans, all the Democrats' fault. It's all their fault. Even though the Republicans caused it, made the problem, and now they're coming in as the savior for the problem and telling the Democrats that they're the ones, they're going to jail the Democrats, right? And from that point on, they'll start the same shit that Hitler did. Whatever the people who are their ire, they're going after. And they're going to make white people feel powerful again. We have all the control, and, we're going to kick these people out of the country. We're going to unalive these people. You don't think that it would happen. Neither did the Germans or the Jews or the black people who lived there at that time, the other people who got killed at that, and nobody talks about. There were other cultures that got killed outside of the Jews. Their ire was the Jews, who were the majority of the people that they killed. They didn't believe that would happen to them either. They're like, that shit ain't real. They got suckered and ended up being unalived. Trump is doing the exact same shit. You can play the sucker, or you can wake the fuck up and be like, this shit ain't happening here. We got an example of how it happened. We got to cut this shit off and real quick. But people get in that they get lulled to sleep. Oh, the economy's still good. It's not really that bad. I mean, you can get some eggs for $12, whatever. You don't see what they're doing behind the scenes, destroying all your civil liberties, little by little. And then when the Democrats have made that decision to no, they're to blame. Chuck Schumer saw that because he knows his history about Hitler and anti-Semitism. The rest of the Democrats are fighting like this is regular business. No, we're going to hold off. We can hold off. And that's the way I was doing it. But then I started recognizing the traits of Hitler and Trump and his people. They're not paying attention to the laws. They don't care. And their people aren't holding them accountable. So it's not business as usual. So we're upset with the man who actually saved us from the destruction. They still need to fight, and he should have explained that shit and put people in the tizzy they need to be in to fight. But they're trying to lull everybody and not cause a ruckus and say, you know what? We're going to fight it in the courts. No, you need to be literally saying, this is fucking Hitler Jr. here. And if you don't believe me, here's what Hitler did. Here's what Trump's doing. What's the difference? Fight it. Promote it. Tell people the truth. And have them check your truth to see if you're lying. That's the worst that can happen, is that they find you lied about something. But the best that can happen is they find the fucking truth and start waking the fuck up. They're not going to wake the fuck up with you just timidly saying, yeah, I'm not going to vote for it. But why? I'll put it in the New York Times. I don't read that. Why? I'll make an interview on the New York Times. I can't see that. Why? Nowhere. Left us in the dark. Took people like me to actually research, like, why would he say no? It don't make any sense. Why would he say yes, rather? Why would it make any sense? Oh, I see now. We got to do the homework. You suck. Chuck Schumer, you suck at like promotions. I mean, you should at least be telling people even a smidgen of what the hell you did it for. But in an op-ed, when you're a leader, you can get in front of a fucking camera and say it. It kills me how people try to dance around the edge of disaster so that they don't look crazy. I'm like, yo, I'd rather look crazy than go into a dictatorship. I'm bringing you facts. It's not about my feelings. My feelings are, I don't want to go factually that direction. I'd rather stay in a democracy and fight in that. Because in a democracy, America still has a dream you can reach. In a dictatorship, the American dream dies. You're not reaching shit. You stay where you are, depending on the dictator telling you where you stand. Rich people are picked, they're not made. Exactly. They're the ones who bitch and tell you like, oh, you don't want a socialism, you don't want a socialist. And they talk about AOC. I'd rather have socialism than a dictatorship. I want democracy. But if I was going to fuck up democracy and went anywhere else, I'm going to socialism. I swear I ain't going to no dictatorship. But let's fight for democracy. That's what we have. I think that's the best. And that's what I'm talking about. America is burning. Yeah, get out of the comfort zone. You're right. Was it Powell Bunyan? That's right. Chucky did the absolute right thing, how he voted. He did. Because I didn't know the history, pal. Now I do. I know I was wrong. In Milwaukee, our elections for Supreme Court starting next month. Whew. I hope we get it right. I hope we do. Yes, I hope we win the majority, Powell Bunyan. I hope we do, 100%. Hey, Jennifer Reggae, how you doing? Sorry, I'm reading you guys' stuff right now. You know I'm long-winded, I talk. I ain't got no problem talking shit about myself. First, they came for the socialists, and I did nothing because I'm not a socialist. That was a quote from whom? Who said that? I'm trying to remember. Or maybe nobody said that, but I kind of remember that phrase somewhere. Government shut down a gift to Trump, who wants to close it all for good. Yeah. This is right, Save Wit. Every day Trump is in office, it would take longer to fix. Like I'm telling people, the things that he's doing and the things that we're waiting for them to do, it's going to take decades to fix. These people have spent years figuring out how to destroy democracy and turn it into, a dictatorship, authoritarianism, and trust and believe all these tenets are going to be hard to even start back over to do. I mean, we're resilient people, Americans. We'll be able to start it over, and I believe a lot better if they do destroy it. But it's going to take us some time. And the American dream is going to get further. It's already further away than it was when our parents were out here fighting, trying to get it. It's further away now, which is crazy, but it is. Things are so high that you've got 2, 3, 4 jobs just to be able to pay the bills. A full-time gig, and then you're driving Uber when you get off work. Then you're doing a social media type of situation, and then on social media, you're selling stuff off of Temu or whatever. That's 4 fucking different jobs to have. Sales, content creating, a full-time job, right? All that, and you're still barely making it. Your parents used to work one day at the factory or a week at the factory, come home, be able to have a car, a house. Oh, mom didn't have to work. If she wanted to, she could. You raising 2, 3, 4 kids off one salary. That shit's gone. And it's not because this country can't be great enough to do that. It's because we have allowed rich people to fuck everybody over in the hopes of being rich. We've been thinking about what we want to be while they have been saying fuck off to all of us, not paying enough taxes. Therefore, we go into debt and then blame us for the debt that they cause. And we sit around believing him. Well, he must be right since he's rich and smart. No, he's not right. She's not right. They're wrong. You're paying percentage-wise more tax than they are. And therefore, they get to keep their wealth. You have to give yours up, and it's hard for you to build wealth. And if they can't give you a living wage, people are fighting to get $15 an hour. You understand $15 an hour is still poverty? Working 40 hours a week, smelling like burgers and fries and shit, and you still broke? Yeah, this shit needs to be fixed. Listen to your facts. All right, good. Good, Jennifer. Pastor Martin. How do you say the name? Moeller? Nia Moeller? I'm going to mess it up. I ain't good at it. It is a damn shame, Rochelle. Life doesn't have to be as difficult as it is. They made it this way. They did. They really did. This stuff didn't have to be the way it is. Again, the last time, or when America was booming a lot, right after the way after the Civil War, we had the industrialization phase, and we started building businesses and working at the factory in your community, which gave you enough money to be able to have a home, live in a nice community, or at least in your community, be able to buy a home, have a car, have a family, be able to raise with one parent. And if you had two parents working at the factory, oh, you was doing great. You was doing great. You saved money. Your retirement was going to be dope. You had a pension. Then all of a sudden, pensions started falling away. Then all of a sudden, they started sending these factories, because they wanted to be greedy and not give you a living wage. They wanted to make more money for them and not for you. They sent it overseas, leaving millions of families broke. Because not only was the factory gone, the many companies that are in America that was making parts for that factory either closed down or moved to these other countries. It was a trickle-down effect. Corporation gone, the industry gone, all the things that fed the industry gone. That industry needed paper. That industry needed, it was using fuel and different things of that nature. So people who were selling it oil, people who were selling it, like whatever to make the machines run, people who were managing the place, the security teams, security guards, all that. Millions of people throughout these entire organizations left. I remember in like 2000, I want to say about 12, 13, I was looking for manufacturers. I was building a clothing line that I had. And I went to go look for the manufacturers that made shoes. I'm like, we don't make shoes in America no more? I couldn't find like one. I finally found like one that was just like, two that were like decrepit, yo. And I'm sitting there like, and again, I love my elders. So I sat around talking to the guy who owned the company. He said, we used to be big. We used to sell to this store, that store. We even made shoes for Payless and all this everything like that. He's like, man, all of it went overseas. He said, right now, what keeps me afloat is I make designer shoes for like celebrities, like Ariana Grande, a few other people. He said, I make shoes for them in their music videos, but if they didn't need them, I had to close down. He went from having multiple businesses to this small business, and I think he's closed now. These industries left, and everything they needed to survive, they bought here in America because it was made in America time. When these corporations wanted to cut these people out and they want to give them raises, they sent it overseas and destroyed the American dream for many people, and it all went to tech. So it created a ginormous amount of wealth for those in Silicon Valley and places like Silicon Valley throughout the United States. Tech became a huge boom, but you had to be tech savvy, which means all these people who worked in the factory, where were their life going to go? They're selling cars and doing shit that they didn't want to do, working at McDonald's, whatever they had to do to survive. It's all rich people that did this to us. This is not shit that we did to ourselves. We didn't make the decision to send it overseas. Rich people did. And they're the same ones pissed off that they caused the poverty, and now these people can't find jobs. They have to go on welfare and other things because they can't find a gig and the industry left. So where are the jobs in which I am an expert at or a pro at? I'm like, with these people 30, 40 years old having to start the fuck back over again in the 80s, in the early 90s. Exactly. They caused the problem and pissed off at the people who have to take these quote unquote entitlement programs because you made it happen. They were working their butts off, making a good living. Now they're losing their homes and their cars, health insurance, all that gone. Yeah, these people are evil. And I understand when your business go out, you can't do anything about it. But when you set up so your business has to make a return on investment of 40 and 50% every year, when it doesn't need to make that much, it's just your greed wants to make that much, you can pay your people more and have a robust company. Many people do it. And they're pretty nice size. It's just these people don't care. And for rich people who do care, got much love for you. But the ones who don't, fuck off. And I'm going to do my best to find out who they are and stop buying from them. I'm not going to keep giving money to people who don't give a shit about people. If you show yourself to give a damn about anybody else, it's a must. I don't give a fuck about you either. You had to reach out to India for textiles. Yeah, we got to go to other countries. And then you're going to put these tariffs on. I don't know where you're going to end up going. Again, people don't understand. Donald Trump is not putting on these tariffs just because he's having a battle with these people. He's trying to cause destruction and disruption so that he can become your savior. It's all Hitler-esque. Make everything doom and gloom, and the only person who can save you is me. It's in his lexicon already. How many times on his campaign trail he says, I'm the only one that can fix it? That right there, that's the dictatorship. That's Hitler. The only one that can fix it. There's no such thing as one person fixing anything. As he said, I'm the only one that can fix, the egg prices. I'm the only one that can do it. As soon as he gets in, well, I can't really do it. What do you mean? I thought you was the only one who could do it. I was just gaslighting y'all just to get in the office. Now I'm about to fuck y'all life up. Sorry. He ain't gonna say sorry, man. That was the game plan, but you don't know it. So keep going. Carry on. You'll kiss my ass later when you're broke and you're ready to eat and all that. You got to beg me to give you your jobs back. That's what this man's like. He's demonic. He's not these people looking, oh, he's a saint. No. That's the devil reincarnated. 100%. He's never gave a damn about anybody. And anybody he cares about and says he cares about, he throws them under the bus the moment they tell him the truth and disagree with him. If you don't recognize that, that's on you. It's easy to recognize. Just turn on the TV, watch a video clip. You can see them juxtaposed right next to each other. He likes the person, he hates the person. What changed? That person didn't let him get what he wanted, like a little child. You're not going to give me the Fruit Loops? Oh, no, we're getting this right here without no sugar. I don't like you no more. That's it. Done deal. Bad person. Like, grow the fuck up, you 80-something-year-old piece of shit. Grow up. But it ain't going to happen. He's going to stay a child till he dies. A little petulant child. If you're in his district, he's your guy. Thank you, being loco. Thank you for being there. I didn't get a chance to go to your thing. I didn't get a notification. You got my information, right, being loco? He's so full of it. Yeah, he is. Yeah, just saying, we will have a lot of business. Already a lot of business closing. A lot of small, mid-sized business, well, not necessarily mid-sized that I've heard of, but a lot of small businesses are closing. Where's the money? You know what I'm saying? The loans are coming due and people are losing money. The thing is that once they, Trump continues to put this stranglehold on the economy, they're making it worse on purpose. Making it worse on purpose is a part of the plan. I guarantee you, if it doesn't come out now, sometime in the next 20, 30 years, this plan that they created will make its surface to the top. And you're going to see how they wanted to turn this country into a dictatorship and hopefully failed. I guarantee you, that plan is all about destroying the economy and then becoming the savior and having the whole world love you for fucking up the world first and blaming it on Democrats. Our economy is doing great. They're blaming Biden for shit he's been doing. I'm trying to fix it, but you know what Biden did. I thought it was better than what. He could never do the shit he said he could do. He lied to you then. He's lying to you now. He will lie to you till the day he dies, because that's how he survives, off of lies. It is what it is. We need to feed the poor. Like I said, one of my biggest things is, that's good, Save with, was that Save? No, that was Jennifer. If you help the least of us, you help the most of us. You have to push up those who are having the biggest problems and struggles, because those people want to be productive people in society. They just can't figure it out because nobody's given an opportunity. They've had a life filled with struggle. I don't care if it's raised up with a parent who's on drugs, they had an abusive family, whatever it may be. People who may not have given them any love or any hope in who they are, and they're always struggling. They may have been dyslexic, but then put into classes and say they're not smart, so therefore they always think that they're not smart, and don't even think outside the box because they've been told that they need to stay in this box because they're not smart enough to go out. There's so many different disparaging things that happens in a child's life, in a young adult's life, that shapes them forever. And it is up to us who give a damn about the world and the children in this world, knowing that we're leaving it to them, that we've got to put into them and instill into them their brilliance, everything about them that's great, and everything that they're not great about. Let them know it's not the end of the world. You're not put on this earth for that, because you're not great at that, but there's something you're great at that you was put on this earth for. Focus on that. To hell with what everybody else says. Focus on being great and following your greatness. Don't try and follow anybody else's, because there's only one you. One you. And that one you is brilliant enough to change the world in the way that your gift was meant to do. It depends on whether you find it. It depends on whether you nurture it and actually do it day in and day out, how dedicated you are to your gift, to your brilliance. And oftentimes we haven't been there, but what we need to do is tell ourselves that we are that. We've been humbled out of who we really are. Got to be humble. No, if you're great at what you do, it ain't about being humble by, putting a limiter on it. You can be all that and then some, and not be a situation where you have to humble yourself. These are the things that, we look at these people that have been held down and we blame them. Instead, we need to nurture them and say, look, here's an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give you a job, or I'm going to give you a task, and help them grow into all they can be. And that's meant for us who've already found it. We should be looking for those we can help. You don't have to always give them money. Give them hope. Give them opportunities. You know what I mean? And it's a situation where you say you build it, they'll come. If you have a gift or anything that you do and you want to be able to help somebody, it's not about just running up to somebody and just helping them. It's about putting the energy out that you're the one to run to if they need help. And those people who want help from you will be drawn to you. It's up to you to just say yes and do what you do best. Educate, inform, enlighten, and give people opportunities. That will lower our crimes in this country. That will give people more opportunity. That will get people actually focused on their brilliance and not their pains. That's all it needs to be. But far too often, we just get mad at people and treat people differently because they're not bright or whatever the heck it is, and they get lost. And we got to help them be found in some way, shape, or form. And it's not our task to do it for everybody. Again, there's enough of us that if one person comes to us, that's more than enough to help. But ignoring it, it ends up being a problem in this country. And we end up repeating the same old things. The reason why I became like a Democrat to begin with is because in that party, it is the only one that speaks of hope and change and love. I've never heard a Republican speak of love in anything they do. I haven't even heard the word love come out of their mouths. It's always something negative about the people. They need to do this. They need to do that. They need to be like me. And the Democrat Party was not like that. They were inclusive. Everybody could come. Everybody can talk. Everybody can share. And in it, there was many committees that were focused on helping people. You ever notice that the far left is always people who want to help all people? The far right is everybody who wants to fuck over everybody and just be for them and rich people. The far end of our spectrum of parties is inclusive and exclusive. That's why I could never be a Republican, because their main brand from the far left, from the far right to a centrist, is only caring about them. They care about nobody else. They create no plans for the poor. They try to take away Social Security for those who have worked their entire lives. They always want more for them. They never have a plan for anybody else. How can you be in a party that don't care about nobody but them? If they ain't benefiting, they don't have no part in it. And in the Democrat Party, there's a lot of things that I don't benefit from that I support. Programs for people who are gay, lesbian, bi, I'm for it. I'm not one of them. But I got a heart that says they deserve shit just like me. Trans women deserve, and men need to have the same life that I have. They ain't harming me none whatsoever. Over here, they're like, life is going to hell if these people even exist. I'm like, are you dating them? I mean, why do you care? Hate. Innate hate. And I wouldn't say innate like it was like they was born that way, but it feels like they were. They're drawn to it. They haven't had a wake-up call and they're like 70 years old. They still got this hate in them. It's been in them since birth. Or at least since raised up by mom and dad, who had to be just as hateful as them. And I was hoping that one day that shit would die off. I'm like, these old people dying, these young people got it making together. Nope, they've recruited a whole new group of young assholes. But it is what it is. I'm for helping people and being conservative. The real conservative, meaning like fiscally conservative. I don't want to pay more than I have to, and I don't want to spend more than I make. That's conservative. Fiscally conservative. They're not that. They're just hateful, racist, bigoted, all that. And they want you to say, no, I'm not. Then tell me what plan you've made in the past 20 years that was for people who have problems. You want to get rid of DEI and don't even realize that DEI helps people who are literally defenseless. DEI helps people who can't walk, right? They can't afford certain things through different types of health issues. They getting it through the wheelchairs, disabled, the ramps in order for them to get into buildings. DEI, and you guys don't care about that because you hate. What would you do with the money that if these people are out here, they put more money into the taxes because they're working, right? You got rid of DEI, people could literally say, you're in a wheelchair, bro. I'm not going to hire you because you're in a wheelchair. No matter what race you are. How can you be a party that would want to do that to people? Tell them they can't make a living because they were born this way or had an accident that made them this way. It's just odd to me. Odd. And them to be even argue that. I'm like, dude, where is your heart? Who do you care about? Quit going to church because you ain't nowhere near like Christ or none of that shit. Just leave that out your mouth. You ain't got nothing to do with Christianity if you can't even think about helping people when they're down and wanting to get rid of things that help people who are sick, who are disabled. And you ain't trying to replace it with a program to help these people. For older people who've worked their entire lives in a program that they bought hook, line, and sinker into, paying into Social Security, you want to get rid of it? Well, what happens to all the money they put in all these fucking 50 years they've been working? You want to privatize it? I mean, it's just, I don't get it, y'all. People care so much about paper than people. It's the world we live in. But we're not like that. We're not like that. So I got hope with all of y'all. I got hope with all of y'all. Trust and believe. So, yeah, it's crazy. I appreciate y'all. There's the information right there. Become a member. Subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you. If you can, helps me continue doing what I do. One of my multiple jobs to do. I'm all over the place. I wrote a Substack, 2 of them, to explain a lot of what I was talking about. So MrStraightFacts.substack.com. You can go check that out. I write articles all the time about some of the things that I'm talking about, because some people get the information more through written information as opposed to online, watching videos. So I got to reach everybody, everything I can possibly do. So it helps a lot. So thank you. I appreciate it. Also, you can see me on other programs, other apps, and that, Instagram, TikTok, of course. Can't go live on TikTok. I'm in TikTok prison right now. I'll be out soon. I'll be out like at the end of the week, I would think. It's crazy. And if you also, hey DJ, how you doing? They're not like us. You're welcome. Shriveled up and dead, Roger. I'm telling you, I don't get it. How don't you care about people? I mean, before I go, the thing I want to think about is, the main through line should be that humans care about humans. But Democrats and Republicans should be debating about how we go about it. Not do it at all. And this person's saying doing it. And then when this person over here says, well, let's do it for everybody. Now you're extra liberal. You got people out there making like, I was like, look, how often do we hear like, oh, the far left? And I was like, what are the far left plans and programs that they keep talking about? Because they just demonized it with the word far left. And I'm like, what does far left want? What does AOC want they call the far left? What do they actually want? What are the bills they're trying to pass, or at least the ideas they want to do? And I haven't found all of them, of course, but I mean, they literally want to help people. They want the rich to pay their fair share. They want to create programs where, that every person in America has a right to health care, and therefore health care should be something that every human being here should be able to get. Even like, the basic health care, even if you think about it, the basic health care should be free. Now, if you got an operation or something like that for specialists, then maybe there's a little difference in pay or whatever. But in some countries, it's already set up. They looked at other countries, the far left. They looked at other countries and said, wait a minute, over here in Canada, our next door neighbors here, it's free healthcare. I mean, I can go over there and get hurt, broken leg, and they're like, oh, come on in, we got you. And then here we got to fucking make everything we do, we got to make a dime off of. Oh, I helped you. I prayed for you. You got to give me some money for that. I'm like, you just prayed for me. 30 seconds. I know, but give it to me. Give it to me. Everything, nothing's free. They give you free stuff, and they make it seem like it's a horrible thing. The country's running well. It's not horrible. How is it that their country's running well and they got free healthcare? And here we are, the greatest country in the world. We can't do it for our people. And that's the far left. Giving a damn about all people is just a horrible thing. And then you got a party over here that's like, oh, let's tax the poor people more. Say what? They're broke. I know. Let's take more of their money. Okay. And we just leave it alone. And we just call them the far right. They don't have a name that's like, oh, they're conservative. Even the conservative name is like, even giving them the conservative name is a compliment instead of a diss. Because conservative is like, not necessarily in politics, but conservative and fiscally, it's like you just do the right things with your money. So it really doesn't even attach to them the way it should. They're horrible people when it comes to this type of stuff. They're not focused on the people. But in this situation, we should be able to say, I care about the people, you care about the people. Okay, then let's find a happy medium to help them. It shouldn't be like, don't help them, help them. How can you negotiate with that? And that's the point. They don't want to negotiate no more. They want the game to be over and they win full stop and we lose forever. That's what they're trying. And so far, they're succeeding at it. They're doing things that would jail the average human being if they even said they were going to do the things they said they're going to do. Breaking the laws and telling you I'm going to break them, automatically, they would be prosecuted or he's kicked out of their position if they was talking like this. But they're with the king. The king allows them to say these horrific things about American society, and it's judicial. You can say whatever you want, but you're saying straight up you're going to break the laws and trying to justify it and then go break said law. It's not good, people. It's just not good. Make it make sense. You're right with that. And conservative for itself, right, Sabewit? So I don't know about y'all, but your boy about to go get a drink to relax. So I appreciate y'all for coming to my show, Mr. Straight Fact Show. I do my best to provide you with all the information and facts that I can find. Sometimes, y'all, I'm telling you, it weighs on me. Sometimes I just want to say, you know what? I'm just not going to have a show tonight because I'm just down with all this crap that's going on and nobody doing nothing. But I realize if I don't do it, I don't put that energy out there, it's not going to become, a bigger thing so that everybody starts listening. And therefore we can start shifting this planet toward the right direction. And it's going to take sacrifice. And that's what I'm giving every day around 5-ish. I'm late often because I got to work, but I'm going to do my best. And I appreciate you. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow around 5 p.m.-ish. And hopefully nothing else crazy is happening. But if it is, damn well I'm going to be here to tell the facts about it because that's all I care about. Facts, not feelings. I care about people who focus on facts and their feelings about facts. But if you got feelings about lies, this is not the place to be because I ain't got nothing, no care, nothing about a lie. If you got a problem with a lie, then find the truth and come back here and we can discuss our feelings about facts, right? Thank you, Benny Loco, for the membership. I appreciate the 5 gifted. I appreciate that. Much love to everybody. We're going to have to have our membership one coming up here soon. I'm trying to organize it, but bear with me. I got a lot going on. And I'm going to put out the video early tomorrow morning. Look for the next question that needs to be pumped out and people discuss and talk about. And it's still along the lines amongst what do you like about democracy? And we're going to keep that going. And hopefully we start to get a conversation and starts to become a national conversation that gets us to talk, think, and hopefully embrace democracy and recognize that we're losing it as opposed to moving toward a more perfect union. Until then, I'll see y'all tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You guys have a great night. Y'all be safe. Much love.